3, 2, 1. Oh, that was embarrassing.
Great.
Hey. Oh, fuck. Hold on.
Right.
Ouch. My ass.
Okay.
Oh, we're cooking. Hey, guys, we're cooking.
You guys, update? We're cooking.
That's it. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Hey, guys. Ruby's leaning down very dramatically. All good, though.
Had to get my water, you know?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Let's get started. Oh my god. Sorry. Okay, I'll just start if Ruby... all good.
Go ahead.
Do you want to start? Do you want to start?
No, it's okay.
Do you want to start?
You can start.
You can start. Okay, I'll start. Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about popular social faux pas.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what a social faux pas is, well, you're not sophisticated enough to watch this episode.
Wow.
That's it. Bye.
Okay.
I'm being weird today, sorry. Okay. Well, the internet says a social faux pas is an embarrassing or tactless act or remark in a social situation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think there's many of those.
Okay, totally.
I think, like, literally every single thing I could think of is...
Oh, totally. Like, hugging someone. Why would you do that in public situation? Like,
No,
totally.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so we made a list of a bunch of social faux pas. I don't know how many, but a lot.
A lot.
These notes took me like 6 years. So anyways, today we're gonna give our opinions on that.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby hates
Alright,
me.
so-
I have bleached hair now.
Yes! He bleached his hair. And buzzed.
And cuzzed it.
Buzzed.
Buzzed it. Okay. Well, the first one's interrupting others. What do you think about this?
Alright, so... My initial thought...
Wait, can we talk about something real quick?
Fine.
Look at me interrupting her. Just kidding, guys. New set?
Yeah.
New
hello.
set? It's so much bigger, huh?
So much better.
Okay, anyway.
It's better.
We can go back.
It's better IRL too.
IRL. Earl.
Okay.
Saying LOL, LMAO, and IRL in real life is like a social faux pas if you're... Like, it should be one. Sorry, okay, we can start. Interrupting others, go.
Okay, so my initial thought is that it's rude and impatient, right? I'm like, well,
Me.
you're rude and impatient, but I understand doing it unintentionally, like,
Me every day.
but if you're constantly someone who interrupts others,
Get
you
the fuck
just-
out of my face.
I think you're a bit selfish and absorbed with your own thoughts, you know what I mean?
Totally.
I think you need to sit and actually listen, like, practice some active listening.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have?
Okay, so I said I think it can be really annoying, minus like a few exceptions. One being that if you're like originally telling your story,
Mm-hmm.
but aren't done with the story, and there's more to add, but someone else like technically interrupts you, but they thought you were done, then I think it's actually okay to interrupt them because you didn't finish your story and they wanted to start talking.
Right.
And if you're someone who might forget the thought and you like had already forgotten it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were gonna tell them earlier and then you forgot and then you want to tell them now, but they're like kind of talking. You'd be like,
Right.
hold that thought. Like I just have to tell you before I forget.
Right.
And then I actually struggle with this a lot. LOL. Oh. Because like usually I'll forget what I'm saying, or I think it's like important and usually it's not, so I do. And then I guess if it's like urgent, you can say it too. Like if you're like, oh my god, my grandma's in the hospital.
Right.
That's pretty intense. I don't think that happens a lot. But like if you think it's urgent, like I think it's okay to say it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're okay with it. And like if you're like friends, like are good with it, like sometimes it like builds with the conversation, then I think it's okay too.
You know,
like
I
if you
think-
guys usually do it.
Oh, frick. I just interrupted
Oh.
you. Anyways.
What'd you say?
I said I interrupted you just now, but...
Oh, totally.
Okay, wait.
100%. Me and Ruby have like that where we just interrupt each other.
Right.
And then we'll give each other eyes. Be like,
Yeah. I was gonna say, what I think is worse is letting someone finish their conversation or like their whatever they're saying, and then move on, like, immediately move on to what you were saying. Like, if you were talking, okay.
Oh, you go back to what you were
I
saying?
have one person who does this. No.
Oh. 100%. Which one?
Like the one, yeah.
Totally.
So basically, one time.
Hopefully your grandma's not watching.
Like, he was talking.
She knows.
Let's just call him.
Hio.
Okay. Anyways.
That's a good name. I like that name.
Let's call him Hio. So, Hio was talking, and then he stopped. Right? He was done, and then I had something related to that, kind of, but I guess it didn't, because after I was done talking, he was like, yeah, so, and then continued on whatever he was saying.
It kind of comes off conceited, narcissistic, and self-obsessed a little bit, which is kind of him. Oh.
Right, he didn't even react or say anything to what I said. And it's like,
I feel like,
did you even listen?
Right, unless you, like, don't know what to say. But you still should acknowledge it and be like,
right,
totally,
like, yeah,
100%, I get what you're saying.
Sure.
That's what I say when I don't know what to say. I'm like, oh, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, we know.
Just, but, like, to my friends, though. But, like, if it's, like,
right.
a stranger that I don't know, then I'm like, I don't say that, because it's rude as fuck. Anyway. Okay, next one.
Not saying thank you.
This is so annoying. I think you should always say thank you, like, literally always. And it shows someone your appreciation for something they did that they didn't even have to do. And I think it's absolutely rude if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes for please as well for me.
Yeah, real.
Unless it's, like, obnoxious. Like, if someone's like, yes, please. No, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Just, like, start with yes, please. Maybe, like, 2 yes, pleases.
Right.
Like, I had an Uber today. And she was like, well, do you want to get dropped off here? And I was like, over there would be great. Thanks. And then she was like, that door? And I was like, yes, please. And then she, like, asked me another one. And I wasn't going to be like, yes, please. Thank you. Like, that can be a little bit annoying. Right. But, like, as long as you say it initially, I think it's nice.
I think so, too. I think it's something, having to say thank you should be implied. Like, not...
If you don't, you should be rude.
Like, it should be the bare minimum. You know what I mean? You should always say thank you.
Shouldn't even be, like, an option.
I think it's really ungrateful if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
TBH.
Totally.
Okay.
LOL.
Next one for us?
Oh, next one? Being late?
Yeah.
Ruby?
Okay, so...
I'm really interested to see what you have to say.
Okay,
here.
so the first thing that comes to my mind, I don't know why, because I've never been in college, but, is
when they lock the door.
Yes, so
See? Wait, what we just did, like, interrupted, but, like, we build on each other's thoughts.
Right, so I said being in a lecture, right? Mm-hmm. Like, late to a lecture where they lock the doors after a certain amount of time passes and you can't get into the class, that's on you.
That's your fault,
Because you knew you had to be there at that time. You knew the doors were going to lock, and now you're paying the price of not getting that lecture.
But if it's something, like, unserious.
Yeah, and I was like... But the thing is, like, I think being late is fine. Being late to having to do something, like, sometimes I'm late to doing my laundry. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
But that's, like, that's one on me, and two,
I
can get over it.
Right, like, if it's just you that's gonna, like, reap the consequences, it's fine.
But, yeah, so that's where I was, like, being late when someone's waiting on you has got to be the worst thing ever, especially when, like...
On both sides, though, too, like, unless you don't care.
Well, people are just, like, letting you, like, watching you, and you're just standing... One time I was waiting for my friend in the hallway, because she wanted...
For dinner or something?
No, she wanted me to see her fine shite. So, anyways...
I knew it.
She was like,
let
me show you my man. And so she was like, meet me here at this time. And I was like, okay. I was there.
You're in the hallway alone?
Alone. Standing there alone. And then so I got scared.
Scared of who?
Scared of looking stupid. So anyways.
You left.
No, I changed. I changed my spot, and I went to a place.
She's pacing around. She's like, I gotta get a drink. Hold on. Goes to get a drink. She's not back. She's like, hold on, another drink. Fill up my water bottle.
Right.
Back. New spot every time. The teachers are watching out in the halls. Who's this girl?
People definitely thought I was weird, but I went over Like, you're not gonna understand, but I went over to some doors.
She looks at the window.
And it's just kind of hid behind. It was so stupid. But she found me, so that's good. But oh my gosh, that was actually funny. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so she found
You
me
hid behind doors.
because I was scared, and then she found me like 5 minutes. One, we were late to class, so like not only am I late
For class,
but like she was late to being with me. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And so I was like, "What the freak, Journey?" And then she was like, "Sorry." Name drop. Anyways,
Bleep that.
crazy. Am I gonna get canceled? Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and I was like, "What?" And she
Why
was
are
like,
you late?
She was like, "Sorry, I had to gather all my stuff." And I was like, I was like, "You said this time." And so, anyways, next time that happens, I'm never going. I'm never going.
You don't want to hide it behind any more doors. Totally.
She's gonna be the one hiding behind the doors because I'm not gonna show up. So not doing that ever again. Anyways, what do you have?
Dude, being late, I hate this one. Oh my god. Like, this one frustrates me so fucking bad, but, like, let me explain. Like, if we have plans made, especially in advance, you should not be late. Like, if it's, like, a day before, I get that. But, like, if we've had plans for a week
I
plus...
have an example for that, but go on. Right.
On ad. Oh, totally. Anyway, someone should not be late. I'm sorry, absolutely not. This is coming from someone who's always running. I am always running late, but I get there. I'll get there. If I'm showering and I have to cut that shower short, I will, but I'll get there on time. I'll just be, like, under pressure, but I'm getting there.
Right, exactly.
So it's not that hard, I swear. Like, even if you're like, oh, well, I had to change and I had to shower. I know from someone who runs late that it doesn't take that long. You can shorten things. Or if you know that's going to happen, plan in advance.
I feel like there's always a way.
If you have to leave at 11 and it takes you 30 minutes to shower, maybe start getting ready at 9:30.
Yeah, sometimes I have to change the hairstyle that I plan to do just so that I'm on time. And you know what? That's fine. Those are things that I have to deal with because I was the one late to getting ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on. Oh my god. But like, I don't know. Something like socially, work, or school, which I'm late for school all the fucking time, so I actually am the biggest hypocrite. But like, unless something happens that like you're not in control over, like your car breaks down, or your parents' fault, like Ruby's usually is. I fully wrote that down. I said, like, if your car breaks down, or if it's your parents' fault, like Ruby's usually is.
Or your friend's fault.
Oh, Journey. Oh,
no.
you. Oh, Brooke. Oh, start naming all over friends. No, just kidding. But like, my parents be making me late sometimes because you remember that one time they were taking us to work and it's like 52. It takes 10 minutes to get to work. Anyway. So, other than that, I think it's unacceptable. Unless you have, like, a good excuse.
Right. Yeah, so my sister and her boyfriend hang out every Saturday.
Oh, totally.
Every Saturday, right? This is a known thing. At 9 in the morning.
Every Saturday.
He's at our house at 9 in the morning. And she is still sleeping. Every Saturday at 9 in the morning. And he calls ahead to make sure she's awake. And she will fall right back asleep. And no wonder he's pissed. I'd be pissed too, you know what I mean? Like, I can't stand it. It's so inconsiderate.
And it's okay if it's like one Saturday, but every Saturday?
It's so inconsiderate. Anyways.
Then why make the plans that early if you know you're not going to be up 11?
Exactly.
Next one?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so talking too loud on the phone.
We gotta, like, settle down after that one. All good.
Okay, so first line I had was, oh my god, literally shut up. So, I get annoyed by phone calls to begin with. Like, any phone call, don't call me.
When I first met Ruby, she would not call me. She would only text me. Now she's warming up. Like, she was like, I fully never call my dad.
I'll call you, but that's...
Yeah, like, your dad.
I don't answer anyone's phone call.
So she's still like that, apparently.
Right. My grandma doesn't even call me because
Oh.
she knows I hate it. She'll text me.
No, I call Ruby all the time.
Which I love.
No,
I
I don't.
love doing that. No, you don't. But
No,
we did FaceTime
only if
once.
it's, like, urgent, though.
That was weird. We kind of FaceTimed once and, like, it was random.
Well, yeah, because I just don't want to text
But you were, like,
sometimes.
bored.
We both hate texting.
Yeah. I
That's
just
an
hate
us
being on my
thing.
phone, like...
Totally. Not me. Unless it's on Pinterest, like, I don't want to be on
Right. But, like, having conversation on the phone in any way is, like,
Rude?
just come see me.
Oh, totally.
And if I can hear your phone call that I'm not a part of, it's just unnecessary.
Put it on speaker so I can hear and I join it.
It's unnecessary.
I'll give you my opinion. Totally.
I also think it's obnoxious. So, and yeah.
Well, full 180.
Oh, and I also hate people that don't make any sense on the phone. So if someone's on the phone talking to, like, let's say their mom. Hi. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. Anyways, let's say their mom, and she's on speaker, and she's like, hi, mom, hi, and it's like, okay, so when are they gonna get to speak? Also, it's also like, or people that hang up without any, what's it called?
Without, oh, totally. I know who you're talking about.
Like, I don't understand.
Like, no conclusion at all. Like, they'll just be like, oh, whatever, hang up.
Or like,
not even that. It's just like,
I don't know, bro. It's just like, if you're not making any sense on the phone, then you don't know how to talk on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
If you set your phone down, walk away, expect them to hear you, you're dumb. And I don't want to be
slam your phone on the table and then run and then yell at them 5 feet away. They're not hearing you.
If you're like hi, and you like go on a really long hi, and it's like, shut up. Shut up. Actually, you're on the phone. No one wants to be on the phone for that long. And if you do, I'm sorry. I can't relate. So anyways, go on. What do you have? Yes.
Totally.
That was my whole example.
I love that Ruby's giving examples. I have no examples.
Those, because when I think of these, I try to think of, like, if I like in the moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Eating Chips Ahoy. Totally. Okay. I said,
Chips Ahoy sponsor us. Anyways, go ahead.
Please want to quit our jobs.
Right.
My line was, you know what? Surprisingly, this doesn't bother me that bad. But now that you say it, totally. 100%. But, and, like, let me tell you why. If it's my friend, I'm going to get really fucking pissed off. But if it's some random person, like, I don't know. I love to analyze people and see what people's lives are like. So I'll, like, love to listen in if people are being loud on the phone. Especially when you can hear the other person. Get home right now, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, totally, 100%. Put me on the phone. But like, when someone's being loud, I, like, get it, because it's really annoying. Like, if I'm having a conversation, but I can't have my proper conversation because you're having a loud conversation on the phone, then it's annoying. But, like, also, it doesn't really bother me that much, like, because, like, you can just move. But if it's your friend, totally, that pisses me off bad. I didn't even think about that, but if it's, like, some random person, and I'm really trying to have an important conversation, I'll just leave. I'll find a new spot.
Right.
Okay, next one. Not introducing people.
Okay.
I haven't really experienced this enough, because, like, I haven't really experienced this enough to have an opinion on it, but I will say for, like, all my life, I've been introduced by my mom or by, like, one of her friends or something. So I usually try to introduce people, but usually not, like, right away. So, like, we'll have, like, a conversation. I'll be like, oh, by the way, this is Ruby.
Right.
So I'll usually forget, and then I'll have to do it later. And
that's fine. But personally, I have
Buckle up, y'all.
I have experienced this.
Oh.
And it just makes the whole situation awkward, because the whole time that
you're just, like, staring at each other.
Even if I'm not the one being introduced, if someone else is not introduced to me, I spend the whole time that we're together trying to figure out their names so that I can either talk to them or understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess, like, I've never been to a function. I'm thinking of, like, a 5-minute interaction. But totally.
But if you're spending a longer period of time together and you don't introduce someone, you're, like, looking for these clues of like, hey,
how do you spell your name?
It's it's like someone's, let's say I'm sitting there and you're the person not introduced. It's like, hey, Christian, can you pass me your water? And then I know your name's Christian. Right. You know what I mean? But I spend the whole time looking for clues so that I know if we're talking about someone, it's not about them, or like maybe it is about them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's so confusing. So, yeah.
Kind of annoying. Kind of inconsiderate, to be honest.
Right. If it's a 5-minute interaction, I don't really care. But
Yeah. Go ahead, because I know you're gonna get really mad right now. Go ahead, totally.
For the next one?
Yep.
Okay, so not offering.
Brace yourself.
Not offering to clean when someone cooks. Right. So this is always
Okay.
always been a rule in my house. Always been a rule. If I cook, my dad puts it away. If my dad cooks, I put it away and do the dishes. I always do the dishes. Anyways, I think it's so sweet to have such a balanced relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
if I'm cooking and then you clean, like,
Thank God.
I'll love you forever, actually.
Except, actually, Ruby liked an Instagram reel the other day that said, let's bake together, except I make all of it and you pick it up. Like, totally.
I also, like, get really specific about certain things. Like, I started doing the dishes. I told Jack that he doesn't do, my little brother, that to not do the dishes anymore because he would put one thing wrongly away. Like, he would put it in the wrong drawer and then nothing would fit correctly. And it's like, if you mess up like that, I don't know. I would rather do it myself because apparently it's easier.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I haven't really, like, I never really cook unless it's like mac and cheese or frozen pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really have like an opinion on this, but I think offering to clean at least after you ate the cook's food
Mm-hmm.
is something that should be done. It's a nice gesture, even just to offer, like I said. And I didn't really know about this until now, but we've always kind of just helped my mom clean up, or like they just be like, okay, you're gonna help now.
Right.
Like, we're all gonna put it. Even the cook helps usually.
Yeah.
So it's just nice, and everyone cleans up.
Yeah, I think if you're comfortable with the people you just ate with, you know what I mean? Even if you didn't cook and you're comfortable with them, like if it's my dad, of course I'm going to offer to clean up. You know what I mean? Even if it wasn't a rule in my house, but it is a rule, so.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah.
Next one's pointing at people. And I actually think this is quite rude, but I was like raised to never point at someone because it's rude. And it is, and I think it can make people self-conscious and think that you might be talking shit or gossiping about them, which I don't think makes anyone feel good. But when I was a kid, I didn't really understand this as much, so yeah, I think it's just rude, to be honest. Usually I just be like, that person over there, and then I'll like look, but it's never like a ha ha ha, you know.
So that's kind of what I had too. I said I don't think it's as bad because when you're young, like if you're at a certain age, you should know not to point at people, but when you're young, you don't really know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And kids point at everything. Like 2-year-olds literally point at absolutely everything.
Like fucking shit.
Right. If someone walks by with purple hair, you're like, when you're 2. So
that Barney looking hoe.
So I don't know. I think it's when you're at a certain age, but I think it's bad if you're intentionally pointing at someone. But also most of the time, I think people are pointing at something behind the person. So if you're the person being pointed at, try to stay calm because I don't think it's. Most of the time, it's probably not you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I have. Okay, so next one. Failing to hold the door open.
For someone behind you.
For someone, yeah. You want to go?
Oh, yeah. I said this, my first line, this is so fucking annoying, all caps.
Oh my god, all caps in mine.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That's all mine. Like,
Yeah.
if I feel like, let me phone a friend. Or phone another paper.
Okay.
On the front side, I had not saying thank you and being late. The first line was in caps because I was so mad. But as someone who tries their hardest to open the door for people, it is not that hard. I promise. And usually people are really nice about it and say thank you and stuff. And if they don't, it's really annoying. But
Christian always holds the door open. I will say that that's something he's always done.
And it's just a nice gesture to show people, even that don't know you, just to, like, say, like, you're not a shitty person. Or just do a good deed. I don't know. And I actually saw a TikTok of someone being like, when they hold the door open for other people, red flag, red flag.
What?
Boy, then you are marrying a bitch. I'm going to tell you that.
Red flag?
Why
would that be a
because
red flag?
he was, like, holding the door open for other girls. And I was like, boy, it's nice as hell. Like,
Right.
I think it's nice, but that's just
It's
me.
such a green flag. I said,
Will you eat
oh
your
my
Chips
god,
Ahoy?
all caps.
Sorry for interrupting.
Don't
but
even-
You ate your Chips Ahoy?
Yes, I did. Did you eat yours? So Christian only left 2 cookies, so.
There was only 4 in there. You
Right.
ate one earlier, so.
So we each had 2.
Oh,
right.
I had 1.
No.
I had a Nilla wafer.
Oh.
That was the other one in there. It was really small. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my god, all caps. Don't even get me started. These people make me so mad, especially at school, because we have to use the buzzer to get into the building.
Oh, shit.
So if you see me coming and you don't hold that damn door, if you don't hold that damn door, I'm coming after you, actually. I will hunt you down.
Okay. Well, I have one exception to add. One thing to add right here. I run late a lot, so I'm always walking in at like 8:05, 8:10. And there's not as many people coming in, and if someone's all the way at the stairs
True.
and I'm at the front door, I'm going.
No, yeah.
I'm already late, gang. I can't. So that's when I don't do it.
No, yeah.
But
Understand.
if you're like
If-
right
if you're-
behind you, is crazy.
If you're like a block away, then obviously I'm not gonna hold the door open. But if I'm right there, if I'm like 5 steps behind you, hold the door, please. You know what I mean? Like, you don't actually have to stand behind the door. Just hold it with your hand and then walk through, and so I can catch it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I can't. So, anyways,
Next one.
that's all I had.
Ignoring personal space. And I said, I think this varies.
Oh.
And I say this. Okay. A little
me
feisty over there. And I say this because there are some people that I won't care how close they are to me, but others can get really annoying about it. And what? Oh, that can also be sometimes like I'll be more willing to be close with somebody, with someone than other times.
Mm-hmm.
But when people look over my shoulder, it gets kind of annoying, but I also can't talk because I also do that sometimes.
Right.
I'm just a little nosy, guys.
But
So I
it's
understand it, but just be aware that people are curious, and basically I am too. So
Depends on who you're with.
mm-hmm.
Like, you looking over my shoulder, I don't care.
Right,
Looking over my shoulder?
totally.
What kind of
This whole episode is just us name dropping to each other, and you guys never know.
Right.
Sorry.
Basically, don't enter my fucking space bubble if you're not invited.
Well, totally, but like if
I'm sorry, go ahead.
looks over my shoulder when I'm trying, like, it's okay when like I'll be like asking my mom something and it concerns her, but if it doesn't, please get away. I'm just trying to text my BFF. Anyways.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
It usually is you and looks over my shoulder to see what I'm saying every time, and it's getting really annoying.
Yeah.
So anyway, I also look over people's shoulders. Like I will look at Brooke or Ruby's, no, my friend Brooke's phone sometimes when it
Right.
concerns me though. Like when she'll like tell me about a conversation she's having with her mom, and be like, "Oh, what'd she say?"
Right, exact.
Or if Ruby's like, "Oh my god, let me ask my dad," I'm like looking at her phone every second to
He
see if she
is,
can come
too.
over.
Anyways, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Anyways,
No, I have to know if she can come over. Sorry. Anyway, but basically this episode just shows how big of a hypocrite I
wait,
am.
you don't need to be touching me if we're having a regular conversation. I have this friend who will walk up. No.
Oh, totally.
She will walk.
You gotta mouth it, because...
I did. Oh, really? I don't really care. She'll never watch this. I'm not gonna say her name though. She'll walk up to me.
Christian, she's talking about me.
Right. So let's say I'm sitting right. Okay. This is her. She'll walk and
She'll walk
keep
in
walking.
front of her.
No.
Oh.
Onto me. She'll keep walking, and all I say is, "Why am I falling over right now?" I look at her and I say, "Why am I falling over right now?"
Can someone tell me why I'm on the ground? Can someone tell me why my head is fractured? Because you wanted to keep walking, or no?
I think it's so funny, but also I'm so serious about it, because why am I falling over? Why am I out of my chair? You know what I mean? And so then she backs up, and I'm like, yeah, thank you. So, yeah.
But, like, some people, it gets, like...
It's so overstimulating.
When, like, yeah, totally. Like, they'll hug me once, and I'll be like, okay, fine. Actually, I'm not big on hugging people who I'm, like, not really close with. Like, I hug a max of, like, 4 people.
Same.
And I don't know, like, if you're just, like aggressively, like, bear attacking me, it's a bit weird, and it does piss me off, and I will say something about it, because that's my bubble that you're invading.
Or it's like, hey, do you want a hug? It's like, no.
No, and then they force hug you.
Right,
Totally.
they're like, no, and they're like, give me a hug. No thanks.
Oh my god, wait, I have a story time?
Okay.
That one time when my hands were dirty and you wouldn't hug me?
Yeah. The one time he wanted to hug me? Right, the one time he offered and his hands were dirty.
Okay. Go ahead and start us off on the next one.
Okay, so using phone during personal conversations?
I'm glad they added personal. I'm glad I added personal.
Right.
Fuck. Who's they? Like... Oh, do you want me to start?
If you want, yeah.
Okay. Well, this depends because I try not to use my phone in conversations, but when I researched these, I liked that it said personal conversations. If someone's talking just to talk and is commenting on the weekend or the weather or how my last night was, then I don't really care because those conversations are very pointless to me. So if I'm on my phone or I'm having a conversation with someone else at the moment, usually it's Ruby, in the morning, I'll be texting and then someone will then interrupt me and talk.
Right.
And then call me rude for
Right.
being on my phone. Well, so I was actually already talking before. Totally fine, though. But if it's like a deep conversation, I'm really opening up, and they're really opening up, then I'll try to not be on my phone. And I do expect the same. But if they're on their phone having a conversation and I talk, I don't expect them to be like, drop everything for me and be like, you're rude as fuck.
Right.
Although I do be like, kids and their phones these days. Totally. Okay.
Yeah, no. I said that I think during any conversation is a little rude. Only if if you're texting and it's not something urgent, you know what I mean? Like,
well, usually me and Ruby's conversations are urgent, so they're not. They're
Right,
really
right,
not.
right.
We're talking about how we don't want to be at school.
but sometimes it is urgent, you know what I mean? But also, I was thinking about this, and it's like, if your phone is protruding sound while you're trying to have a conversation, like
that's rude
us,
as fuck.
and
That's
then
never.
If I'm holding my phone and I was on my phone and you're speaking, and then I try and answer and my phone is still playing or something, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Pause it.
Pause it,
Mute.
turn it off, or don't have the conversation. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have this huge problem with, because he just, he just is always on his phone. TikTok is always playing on full volume.
Totally.
If you have your phone on full volume at any point in time, I hate you.
Like,
that's all I have to
invest
say.
in some AirPods.
That's
maybe.
all I have to say is I hate you.
Oh, can I also say this? Like,
I never have sorry.
No, you're fine.
Even if I'm alone, my phone volume is not all the way up.
Unless I'm like, it has to be, which is like never. But
If
like
the sound-
today when we were watching a video, then it's at full volume because we're at work and we
there's
shouldn't
two
be on
of
our
us.
phones. But there's 2 of us.
I don't know how your
It's
ears
very
work.
mindful.
Right.
Yep.
But
so that's annoying as fuck.
So the live action, this is going to be really specific. The live action Beauty and the Beast, the sound is like way down on that. So my phone has to be all the way up.
Right.
In order for me to even just hear it a little bit. So anyways, go on.
But sometimes people listen better and can multitask when they're on their phones. I'm one of these people. I'm totally... I hate when he does this shit. Ugh. Hold on, guys. I'll keep talking. When... I can't talk while the thing's going. Hold on. My thing says low battery. Hold on. I don't know. Oh, hello.
We should hurry this up, I guess.
No, I'll just move it and then plug it in. But let me finish my thought and then we'll go. But like, sometimes I'll listen while I'm on my phone and then I'll be like, huh? Acting like I didn't hear because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But then I'll answer what they said because just so they know I'm listening, you know? So, go ahead and introduce the next one.
Okay, so next one is forgetting names. And personally, I think this one isn't super bad because because I'm still in school. So, like, there's so many people all the time, and it's like, hey, do you remember? Or, like, someone, I'm not going to name names, so will be talking to me about someone. She's like, do you remember this one that I was talking about 2 years ago? I'm like, no.
Totally.
She's like,
2 years ago.
They go to this school, and I'm like, no.
Don't. That's not helping.
Don't. They run track now. I have no idea. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't have time to remember your man who's not your man. If he's not
2 years ago.
Exactly. So, sorry, but no. But I don't think it's very hard to remember names. But if you're a teacher or something, or like if it's part of your job, it's like I understand because you have.
By the way,
yeah.
If you met them one time.
Oh, right. Yeah, if you have met them one time, it's like, all right. But I've never been offended when someone forgets my name. Like, I've always just been like, oh, yeah, no, it's Ruby. Because they're like, what's your name again? And it's like, oh, I'm Ruby. And I've never made a big deal about it. So if you make a big deal about it, then I think... You're
embarrassed.
Right, I think you're a little...
conceited.
Yeah.
A little annoying.
I don't think you need to be making that big of a deal about your name. So...
Totally, guys. Hold on.
I don't know. I don't see it as something to be mad or offended by. Even because I have a short name. Some people have really long, like, names that I couldn't even say. Like, names I couldn't even pronounce. So, I have an NHS buddy, National Honor Society buddy, and I forget her name. I have no idea. And every meeting, we're supposed to sit by our buddies, and I have no idea what her name is. So, that's probably rude, actually. I just realized that, like,
Ruby seems rude now.
Right, I realized that I probably should remember her name. But we never talk to each other, and she never sits by me, so she's never there. So, yeah.
I lost my drink. Oh, I see it. Okay,
great.
Totally. Sorry, guys. I had to plug the thing in, plug the camera in. Because we're gonna die, because I don't plan very well. Yeah, I totally get this one, because I haven't been in a lot of situations where this is the case, but I do understand. Like, there's so many people to remember their names. Mm-hmm. And especially if we only have met a couple of times, I totally get it. Like, don't sweat it. I'm never one to be like, oh my God.
Right.
I'll be like, oh, you already forgot it? As a joke. And
right,
then I'll be like,
exactly.
It's Christian. I was kidding.
Yeah.
Did you do oversharing personal information?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, think. Because
Okay.
I like this one.
Okay, so I said, I think it's only rude if the people you're sharing it to doesn't know you very well or if they don't ask. But if it's like a Sex and the City type of deal where they meet up every week, go get lunch to share about those things, like personal things, like to literally just to talk about it, then I understand, you know what I mean? Like, then it's like, oh, we're supposed to be doing that. Like
That's the purpose.
That's literally the whole point of getting together right now. But if the person you're talking to doesn't ask, or if you have literally never met them before or something, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, they probably don't care. And unless they're, like, a therapist, and then they, like, are fully in the act with it, they're like, oh, yeah, tell me more. Then it's like, okay. I guess you guys hit it off really well, because one talks, one listens. But anyways.
I said I really don't have a problem with this, especially if I'm, like, close with someone. But if I don't like them, and I don't want to hear about their sex life.
Right.
But if it's someone I like and feel comfortable with, oversharing with me. I used to, like, not like this, but now I like it with certain people, though.
Right.
And I love when people overshare, but that just might be a me thing, because I like knowing... Like, I like that people feel comfortable telling me that.
Agreed.
But if, like, you just met them and you're like, oh, my God, last night was crazy, let me tell you about it. Like,
right. It's
unless
like,
they care. You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like you said, unless they care.
But, like, they probably don't. I hate to break it to you, but they probably don't.
It's a niche group that cares.
Right.
Otherwise, they don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so next one is not covering your mouth when coughing or sneezing. So, I said that this makes me so mad because you don't know what kind of medical history someone has.
Totally.
And if they get sick and die, like...
And it's your fault.
I will say that I know people who, if they get sick, they're severely sick. It could kill them. And so it's like, if you're just coughing and sneezing without covering your mouth, it's inconsiderate. And I don't think, I think you need to think more about other people.
I feel like it's very inconsiderate. I put, this is just like you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially if I just met you and have only met you a couple times, I would expect you to know and be considerate of other people's health.
Right, exactly.
That's all I had. Next one, talking about money, religion, or politics.
Mm-hmm. I said again, I think it just depends on your history with the crowd / group you're talking with. And I swear on my fucking life.
Want to tell your story?
If my dad ever mentions this. Okay, so if I invite you over to my house and my dad starts talking to you about your religion or politics or anything
just don't talk about it.
Run up to my room. Go away. Go hide somewhere. Because I don't want to have...
Totally.
I don't want to sit there for 3 hours watching you guys argue. Yeah. No, have him run in the street. Because...
Totally. It's his house. He owns it.
It's just like... If you're just like... No, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Right. Especially not with someone else's friends.
Right.
Anyways, go on.
I said I'm actually very conflicted with this. But, let me explain. Because I don't care who you think's a better president. Even if we have the same political views. Mm-hmm. I want to know why you think that person is better. Mm-hmm. I, especially recently, would love to know other people's sides of things. And I love to learn other people's thoughts and perspectives, even if I don't agree with them. That's just the beauty of everyone being different, and we can all talk about things and learn from that. But at the same time, it can get toxic. So if it's a toxic situation, then no, this isn't acceptable, especially if you're someone who pushes your beliefs or on either side.
Right.
On, if I'm on the same political side with somebody and they start, pushing it onto someone else, that's when I get mad.
Right.
Because that's not healthy. And I know it can be hard to gauge with someone, but if you think the conversation's turning into a direction you think is bad, try to switch it. Mm-hmm. And there's definitely a way to do it, and knowing how to do it in a healthy way is good. So.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Next one, making jokes at someone else's expense.
So, I think this is,
Is my phone dying too?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys.
I would say that this is the definition of being a bully.
Totally. It's not my bug, but totally.
Well, I think it is, because, you obviously don't like them. You're talking, you know what I mean? Why are you talking bad or, making a joke thinking it's funny when it's not? You don't know, if you, especially about a situation, if they went through a situation and you're just joking about it and it's they probably don't find that funny, you know?
Right. I said, first line was, you know what, this also varies for me because I'm close, if I'm close with someone in the group I'm with, then I don't mind if other makes jokes about me or anything, except for when it's are you joking?
Right.
Totally. But I can also get, people not liking this, and sometimes I don't like this because it'll seem, serious and not a joke. So for that reason, I don't like it. But I think it's about gauging the vibe and people you're with. If you're, I don't know, I can't think of an example. I'm just, but, if I'm with you and you're that's a fucking ugly-ass shirt. And I'm totally.
Right.
So is yours.
Right.
We'll just, bully each other, but it's funny because it's us. Mm-hmm. But if it was, anyone else, I don't. If it's just a random social thing, don't. It's not funny.
Yeah, no. Agreed. And if you're talking about someone in that way, you must have a really boring life. You need to find other things to talk about.
Find a hobby, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, for real.
Not RSVPing?
Oh, okay, so if you get a card that specifically tells you to RSVP, and you don't RSVP, don't go. Mm-hmm. Do not show up, because it's...
And don't expect me to be nice when you show up.
Right. Don't expect me to offer you any food either, because I didn't get enough, because you didn't RSVP, you know what I mean? I didn't know you were coming. Bitches. I didn't know your stomach was going to be hungry. So, I don't know, it's just for other people to know how much food to get, how much drinks to get, all that, you know what I mean? So if you don't, then don't bother showing up.
Right. I said, for me, this hasn't been a big concern of mine, so I don't know really what to say about it, but what I do know is that it's really important to RSVP, because for my mom's wedding, some people would not RSVP, and they wouldn't end up paying, or my parents would end up paying for plates for people who didn't show up, too. If you RSVP and don't come,
yeah,
That's a bigger pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
That's so annoying because I know my parents dropped like hundreds on people, like $30 a plate if you didn't come. Or, yeah, I know that was a bigger issue than RSVPing or not RSVPing. But if you don't RSVP, don't expect to have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect to have food. And don't expect me to be nice.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just a waste if you don't RSVP.
The first time I ever had to RSVP was for a Halloween party, and I was in 6th grade. So it was it was a little, no, not 6th grade, 8th grade.
Oh.
It was a little weird, but it was just something I had to do it because I felt very professional, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think especially if the card says to RSVP, it's got to be something important.
Don't RSVP, you guys.
It's got to be important, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the next one is wearing inappropriate attire.
I said this one doesn't bother me as much because as long as you're comfortable, wear what you want. If you feel comfortable and confident, who am I to say anything?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this goes if you're dressed up or dressed down. Like, unless it's like a wedding and you're wearing like a sweat set, it's like, okay, you know?
Right.
But also I can see why someone would do that unless it says, like, if it says explicitly dress for the occasion and you don't,
mm-hmm.
that's just as bad as not RSVPing.
Mm-hmm. I kind of have
says
the
on the
same
card,
thing.
you guys.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I'm also not like, if we're like going to the mall and you don't want to dress up, totally fine. Also, I never go to the mall, so I just want everyone to know that I don't willingly go to the mall.
Right.
I'm forced there, but I don't willingly go. Like, I just work there.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't want people to think I go to the mall. Our dead mall, anyway.
Right. I said it all depends on the situation because
mm-hmm.
normally I would say wear what you want, you know, and you should because, you know, don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't wear. But
mm-hmm.
if you specifically have a uniform, like for the thing you're going to or for work or for school. Yes.
No, Shaylin. Yeah, no, totally.
Shaylin.
Everyone who works at Orange Juliet, totally. Yup.
So basically, if you're specifically supposed to wear it, then I think you should fucking wear your uniform. You know what I mean?
Right. And if it's like a date, and if like if you were to ask me to dress up, I'd be like, okay. But like if you're like you need to dress up,
I'd be
now,
like, yeah.
But you would never say that, so.
Right, but if I ask someone to dress up, I'm talking like most of the time. Like for a date, I would most of the time be talking about like jeans and a t-shirt or
mm-hmm.
or like, well, jeans and a nice t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know. But if you're wearing inappropriate attire according to someone else, like some old man is telling you,
I don't really care.
Is like you shouldn't be wearing those shorts or something, then.
But if you like show up to a wedding wearing pajamas, it's
right.
like enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one. Using slang or jargon. And I think this is on the list for a valid reason because we researched these and just picked the most popular one. And I understand why people might not want to use jargon that they know, especially for people that have studied in a certain field.
Mm-hmm.
They studied it so much and want to use it, so I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And since they have learned about it so much, that is what they know. So I try to be forgiving with it
mm-hmm.
and look up the terms later. But I think if someone uses jargon, they can't get mad when someone asks what it means. Because if you're using, like, medical terminology and someone's like, the fuck does that mean?
Right.
You can't get mad.
Right.
Well, unless, like, okay, like, there's, like, one thing I'm thinking of is, like, I was in a class with somebody, and, I can't remember who it was, but I just remember the situation, and it was, like, we had to know it, and we had been studying it for so long, and then I brought it up in conversation, and they didn't know what it meant, and I'm like, really?
Right.
So that, I think, is acceptable to get mad, but otherwise, like, if they aren't in that field, you can't get mad if they ask what it means.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I think slang is very inappropriate if you're, like, in a job interview. Like, don't be talking all that fine shite. Like, just stuff like that. Like,
fine
short...
shit pisses me off, but I use it sometimes as a joke.
Same. It PM so bad. Okay.
Using slang? Using slang
I know.
on the pod?
Okay, but, that's what I mean. Like, if you're talking in an interview and you shorten your words or something, or if you're texting an email or typing an email and you shorten your words.
Typing an email and using, like, slang
is so I just can't. So that's all I have for that.
Okay, next one, not making eye contact.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I don't think this is the most concerning out of the ones we've listed, because a lot of people...
I think not RSVPing is worse.
Right. I think a lot of people are afraid of eye contact, and is that something that I think they should work on? Yes.
All of Gen Z coded? Me
like,
coded?
I think they should learn to be comfortable with it, because it's a good, what's it
Tool.
called? It's called social thing to have, like, thing to, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good, what's that word?
Maybe just brush your braid more. And you
no, what is it literally?
Social technique?
It'll come with me.
Okay.
Come to me.
Come with me. Anyway, so what I had down was... Just kidding.
Okay, so, because I think it's respectful to make eye contact, but I don't think it's a huge problem if you're not making eye contact. I think, yeah. So
especially when they're older and they're younger. Like, no offense, but you should know that they're probably not going to make eye contact, you know? And I said it sucks when someone isn't making eye contact with you, but I get it, because sometimes I do it. So, and it's fine. It doesn't really bother me as much as it... Oh my god! Doesn't really bother me as much as it does as others on this list. Oh, wait. As much as others does on this list. But it can get annoying, and if they're really not engaging with me, then it gets annoying. But if you're, like, engaging in the conversation, but you're not, like, making eye contact, I don't really care.
Right.
But if you're like, I'm like, boy, time to look up here, gang.
Right.
So.
No, exactly. Because then it feels like it's like, why am I even speaking to you right now? If you're just looking at the ground. Okay, so next one is gossiping. All I have to say is I just think it's childish. I like using the word gossip. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, should we go gossip? But we're not actually talking about, like, we're not actually going to gossip about people.
I just say drop lore.
Yeah. So I guess there's many ways to say it, but I use gossip sometimes. Not a lot. A lot of times I say debrief, you know what I mean? But
let's debrief.
Right. Or
this happens a lot with customers. Me and Ruby go talk shit about customers in the back.
Right, but, like, is that gossiping?
No. Well, yes, but, like, I think it can be done in a healthy way, so.
But yeah, so that's all I had. Sometimes I'll use the word, but I don't actually mean it.
I said it can be done in a healthy way, and I think it's a way for people to rant their feelings, and I think as long as it's done in such a way that gossiping in general is fine, especially when it's done in a safe space. Like, I'll go to Ruby, I'll be like, is this a safe space?
Yes, I was telling
Again? Grandpa.
Yeah, so me and Christian will say, like, is this a safe space? Which is so funny. I think it's one of the best things. It sounds rude,
but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think that when you're meeting someone for the first time or it's new, that you should try your best to not gossip with them about, like, I don't know, their friend or something, unless they do it first, and you can maybe join in on it. But I think it's best to do it in a spot where it's safe and won't get out and potentially hurt somebody. Even if it's just like I'll go to Ruby and talk about how something's pissing me off a little bit, and then she'll bring me back down, and just talking about it will just, it won't make me react to that person in a bad way. So I think it can be done in a good way.
I think it can be helpful, you know? So, next one is bringing uninvited guests. Okay, I said I think it's acceptable if it's an open invitation. Like, if you're throwing an open party, but only...
You better bet people are coming, what?
Right, only 1 or 2 guests. If you bring a whole 10 people...
if you bring your classroom...
Right, you're done for.
If you bring a soccer team with you, it's rude. Like, okay, what? I said I think it's fine, and I get why people would say it isn't. But if they're cool and fun, and you think it's the host and people at the party will enjoy them, then I think it should be fine. But I get why it isn't, and why it's on this list. But I would say it's best to ask the host, especially first. And if they feel strongly, remember it is their party, and ultimately they get to decide who is at it. And just don't set up like a bad situation. Because usually people would know they're not liked at a party if you bring them in. Nobody likes them,
you could always... like, say the name, too, just in case. You can be like, hey, can I bring my friend Christian Powell? You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, or oh, no. So, yeah. Next one is overstaying your welcome. I will go ahead.
Oh, I just said this doesn't bother me unless, all caps, I'm showing signs that maybe I'm tired and I would like to go or something through, phrases or body language that I think it's fine maybe as long as you ask them or something like that. I know it's like you shouldn't ask them, but you should. And I think it's really important to read the signs of people and get to know them and stuff. Or confront them about it and be like, am I overstaying my welcome right now? It's like very simple.
Yeah.
Also, usually it's like there's a set time to leave. That's what I try and do. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, you need to leave at this time. Or not that, but I'll just be like, until when, you know?
Right, like, yeah. I think there should always be a time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say it's more of a fear for me. Because, like, I'm so scared to overstay.
And people are like, she would never leave.
One time, actually, I think this is the last time that I had dinner here. You were like, oh, you already texted your dad. And I was like, yeah. Because I was so scared that...
Yeah, she left so early. I was like, we said 8 o'clock. It's 6:30.
We didn't say 8 o'clock, though.
No, I know.
We didn't have a time.
It was an
which
example.
is why, like, I was like, Dad, please. Are you on your way?
I hate him. Get me out. Like, totally.
No, I was like, are you on your way? Like, we just finished dinner. I don't know what we're going to do next. I'm scared.
Yeah, and then we were trying to play board games and she had to leave.
Okay. But it's better to do that than to be staying here and then you guys are staying up late because of me.
My mom's like, is she ever going to leave?
Right. It's more tiring on the hostess. And it's like, I would rather live with the fear than be
That was the day we were off school for weeks.
And never uninvited again, or invited again, you know? They're never going to want me back over here if I just stay. So, yeah.
Okay, this is the last one, right?
No.
What's your last one?
Taking handicap spots when you aren't handicapped?
Oh, I didn't take notes on those. My bad.
Oh.
You'll name them off and I'll say what I think.
All right.
Almost the last, 3 away from the last one.
Yep.
Not acknowledging others in a group.
Oh my. I think it can really break a relationship. I feel like any relationship, I feel like it makes people feel so left out and unwelcome, like they don't matter, which could lead to even bigger issues, you know what I mean? So I think it's important to be aware of where you're at, who you're with, what you're saying, and who you're saying it to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I said this honestly does get to me, because I have been the one who isn't acknowledged sometimes, because sometimes if you're, like, in a group that you're not necessarily, like, close with except for one person,
right, then
it can suck. And I try my best in a group to acknowledge or engage with someone. Like, I'm thinking of one person, you won't know who it was, and they're just, it's very, like, she, like, isn't like the rest of the people in the group. It's not a bad thing. I like her the best, actually. The rest of them fucking suck.
Right.
But she always says something and then everyone ignores her, and I'm, like, one time she commented about the weather, which is, like, okay, weird. But I will, like, engage as much as I can with that, just so they know that someone's listening.
Right, no.
And that they are heard.
That's so nice, too, because my aunt, one time we were in the car with my aunt, my grandpa, my uncle, and me, and my grandpa and uncle were having conversation, and then my aunt said something, and they completely just cut her off and started having a super duper long conversation. So I remembered specifically her question or something. It was something about the windshield wipers, and I asked her really loud afterwards. I was like, "What were you gonna say, Lacey?" Because like, why are you in? Like, why? It's so rude. And I just feel like she was just left out, and I was like, "What the."
Rude as hell, guys.
Right, and she didn't even speak up for herself, so anyways, felt bad.
Well, let me just say, when we made this list, I had made a list, but then Ruby added some, so that's why I didn't have them printed out.
Yes,
my bad,
it's
guys.
my fault. Okay, so people not putting back their shopping carts. I said it doesn't take a lot to put back your shopping cart, and I don't think it should be an option. I think you should
This is just like saying thank you. Like, it doesn't even take a lot.
Like, you don't have the choice to just leave your shopping cart in a parking space. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that.
I've never been a retail worker, but Lord, I know that sucks for them.
Right.
You know?
I don't think it should be an option. So
I actually used to like always want to go around and take all the cars that people would leave on the fucking grass and curb. Like,
I think that would be the easiest
Also-
job ever.
by the way, if there's wind and that blows in the street, someone's getting in a crash, guys. Like, this is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hate it.
Yeah.
I think you should just do it.
And then the other one is people on their phones in the movie theater. I think if it's
My
not
fucking
causing...
sister does this.
Really?
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I think if it's not causing disturbance and your brightness is down all the way, then I don't really care. But also at the same time, why go to the movies if you're just gonna be on your phone?
Right. Except, I have one thing to add, guys. One time, my parents took me, my sister, and my brother to the Transformers movie because my brother can't watch scary movies, so he didn't get to go to the one we wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up going to fucking Transformers, and me and my sister didn't want to watch that shit because we fucking hate Transformers. Nobody fucking cares. Anyway, this is my rant about Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So we just, like, went on our phones the whole time.
Right.
So,
Yeah. My friend Mariana, I love her. She told me that one time she wanted to see an R-rated movie, and you have to bring your parent. But her mom didn't want to watch it, so she brought her mom. Her mom's brightness was all the way down, but she was on her phone, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I understand.
That's fine.
Right, because she has to be with you, you know what I mean? Last one, taking a handicap spot when you aren't handicapped.
I just think this is rude. I didn't know people actually did that.
Yeah, specifically in parking lots. I think it's so rude and inconsiderate. And I know someone's mom.
You told me about that.
Takes her grandma's handicapped thing and uses it. And it's like...
Do you really need to be that close to the
It's
door?
not a big
I feel like we
deal.
have other issues if you
It's
need to
not
be
a
that
big deal.
close and lie about it too.
I think I'm also biased because my dad will literally choose the parking spot that is miles away from even if others are
Totally.
open, just so that we can walk. And I think it's shaped me into who I am today. So that's all I
On
have
that
to say.
note, just kidding. No, but like, except for when it's cold out, I think that's a good idea. But
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, like, boy, just walk a little bit. Like, it's not that
But-
hard. You
oh,
don't need
yeah.
to be that close. Sometimes there'll be a handicap one, and then there will be like a non-handicap closer to the door, but they'll still go in the handicap because they think they're proving a point.
Right. And I also think
It
that
can get you a fine. Just stop. Sorry.
not talking about parking spots, me and Christian sometimes go to the movies and take the handicap chairs, but that's because
No, we
there's...
don't. That was once.
It's been
Really?
that, yeah,
When?
like
What
every single
movies?
time we go.
No, it isn't. We stay in our
It
lane.
was the last 2 times we went.
What movies though?
But I don't know. But
No, but we went and saw that like stupid Here one, and we were in our seats because we were alone. Remember, and we were like mid center.
True.
So like sometimes we will, but only if it's like
If it's
nobody's
packed,
there.
if it's packed,
Oh.
sometimes we move to the handicapped.
Oh no, when we're buying tickets, you mean?
What?
And we get the handicap seats.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
because
no.
they offer it to us though.
Right.
I
And
don't know why
and also
they
because
do.
they're not taken. Like
You're right.
those, you have to.
And it'll be like at 20 minutes before the movie starts. Like,
It's like they're not coming.
Right.
They're not going. They're not gonna make it.
I thought you were
so-
talking about like we moved to the handicap seats like after we already bought. No, but yeah, no, I know what you mean.
No, yeah. So
Well, that's all I have, guys. Ruby, is that all you have?
that's all I have.
Okay, anyways, if you like today's episode, you can keep up with the show. New episodes every Tuesday, except for last Tuesday, because my dad wanted to go get a new car. Anyways, video on Spotify and YouTube. Posting updates on Christian and Ruby on Instagram.
Love you guys.
Love ya.
This one was so fun.
That was fire. That was long as hell, though. Totally fine. Oh,
Yeah, it
okay,
was.
bye.
Oh no, I was like checking the time.
Oh, well, it restarted because my grandpa wanted to find my phone me.
Oh yeah, huh?
Guys, that's his way of affection, by the way. Anyway,
I think that's so cute.
bye.
Bye.
We turn